friends, welcome to another episode of Makeup with Elle. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Llajaira. Today we're doing something a little bit different on my channel where we are going to truly attempt, and I mean truly attempt, to do a full face of makeup using items from Five Below. This look was actually super challenging for me to do. It was the first time that I did something similar to this, and it was the first time that I've ever used any of these products, so it was like a crazy challenge within my brain. For today's ears, I use these donut ears, and I absolutely adore and love them. I feel like they're very me. Eric took me last week to go to Pop-Up Disney. It's a place where you can take a ton of pretty, beautiful pictures in like Disney settings. If you'd like to see those pictures, follow me below on Instagram. I thought that doing this challenge using Five Below makeup was super cool because I literally love Five Below so much. It's this cute little store where you can buy everything from toys to makeup to books to clothes for under $5, and I thought it was super awesome. I took Eric to one for the first time because they're mostly on the East Coast, and he loved it too. When they opened up a few here in Phoenix, I was super excited. If you'd like to see how I struggled through this look, just continue watching. It has setting spray here. We'll try this because it's like a shiny setting spray. This is all Wet n Wild though, so like I shouldn't get all the same brand. I'm gonna get this. I'm not gonna get this. Try. Let me try. It has wheels. Look at it. I look so horrible doing that. Like usual, we're gonna start with our primer because I like to let it sit on my face for a little bit before I add the foundation on. So we're gonna start with the Wet n Wild Dewy Luminix Face Primer. We're gonna put a little bit of that in our hand. It has like already has like a color to it. Interesting. And I'm just gonna put this all over my face. It has like a glowy finish to it, but I don't hate it because it is summer and I do want a glowy look, so I don't hate it. I'm gonna set my eyelids using the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I'm gonna place a little bit of that on my lids. Here I couldn't find any concealer in Five Below, so I'm just kind of using a concealer that was under $5 to make this like a fair video. We are going to dig into this really pretty palette, and I have been dying to touch this middle row, so I'm just going to go for it. It's like a loose glitter. I honestly thought that it'd be like jelly-ish, but it's not. They're just like loose. Hold on, let me get a better swab. The jelly's underneath. They look so much like my nails. Like, it's a loose glitter. It's not like super like pigmented. It looks like glitter is just gonna go right on the eyelid. But using a brush, I am going to take the most neutral shade to my skin tone. That's this color right here in the middle. And these don't have names on them, but it's gonna be this neutral shade right here. And I'm gonna pat that all over my eyelid. feel like I could even like set my face with this powder because it's so close to my skin tone. So I feel like this is kind of perfect. This is just to kind of take that coloration out from my eyelid. So now you can see it looks like a solid base to my eye. Because I've never worked with this palette before, I'm actually going to do just a simple look and we're just going to go with it. I'm going to take this shimmery darker brown. I'm going to place it on the outside of my lid. Just kind of bring it in just a little bit. This is not crazy pigmented, but it is dropping some color on my lid, so I'm just going to try to like blend until it shows up on my eye the way I want it to. I'm definitely not used to doing my eyebrows after I do my eyes, but I just feel like I need to understand my eye look before I do my eyebrows. I don't know, I'm just feeling like I should do that next. And then I'm going to take the liquid eyeliner. It's called Liquid Catsuit from Wet n Wild, and this is super shimmery purple. I got this because I was really curious to try it. I love Wet n Wild products, so I kind of just want to see how it swatches first. It's like an iridescent purple. It feels very wet though. It feels like I'm gonna open my eyelid and there's gonna be shimmer everywhere, but this is what it looks like. I know my eyes look very crazy right now. We are gonna try it. We're just gonna put it on. We're gonna live with whatever mess I make of it. I feel like my whole face is shining from that primer. Like specifically my nose looks super shiny. And I just wipe glitter all over it. We are going to work with what we have, and we are going to take one of these shiny colors at the top here, and we're just going to press that right into the eye so that it shimmers just a little bit more, because the color alone wasn't super pigmented and I want this look to stand out just a little bit. I like how this glitterish color is performing. It's kind of sticking to the eyeshadow I just placed on there though, so I think that helps. And then I'm going to dig right back into this brown shade and kind of blend it all together. That way it looks like a seamless kind of look. That way it doesn't have like a crazy, cut right at the very top. So I'm just blending this brown into this pretty pink purple I created. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this silver and I'm going to place it right in the middle. Next we're going to move on to our eyebrows. I don't usually do them last, I usually do them first, and it kind of sets the tone for my face, but I was a little worried. I'm going to be using this charcoal black eyebrow gel, and it is very dark. My eyebrows are pretty dark, but I feel like this is insane. It's gonna be crazy. So I'm just going to use this to dip into the brow, and as usual I'm going to start by brushing up my eyebrows and kind of putting them in place. I'm gonna line the bottom of my eyebrow. And I'm taking this super lightly through my eyebrow because I don't want to put a ton of pigment right onto my eyebrow. So I'm just kind of brushing this, barely touching my skin. And creating like a line of eyebrow hair. Surprisingly, this charcoal black is very similar to my brow color, so that is not bad. I'll probably use this again. And then I'm going to line the top of my eyebrow the same exact way, just lining in little baby strokes, making sure I don't make any crazy harsh lines, and just filling in the parts of my eyebrow where it feel like I'm missing hair. Occasionally, I'll take the end of my brush and just kind of brush upwards. And eyebrows could go really wrong really quickly. So I literally just take my time doing my eyebrows, just kind of brushing until I feel like I am good and comfortable with how they look. I'm actually kind of impressed with this eyebrow gel. Yeah, gel. It's working out really well. Like I said, it's the same color as my natural eyebrows, so it's filling in those places super well. And I just kind of like it. It looks pretty natural. If you haven't noticed, I'm a full-on disco ball with this primer on my face. I kind of want to just move on to foundation, but that's not my process. We're going to struggle through the shine. Hopefully it'll even itself out. We'll work through it. Ooh, eyebrows are done, guys. Eyebrows are so tough for me to do just because like it takes a lot of precision and I stop breathing for a little bit when I'm doing my eyebrows, so it's just kind of hard for me to do. Moving on, now that I have this Neapolitan look going on, I'm going to move on to my eyeliner using the Skinny Tip Eyeliner Mega Slim, and it is a Wet n Wild product. I'm super excited about this eyeliner because I've always wanted a super sleek, thin cat eye, and I feel like this might be the perfect tool for it, but I guess we'll see. I had to wipe away a cat eye and redo it because one was going this way and the other one was going kind of out that way. But I redid it and this is as close as I think I'm gonna get. One thing about this eyeliner is it's not covering up those glitter, but they are chunky glitter, so I cannot blame it on the eyeliner. Totally blaming it on the glitter. So I'm gonna keep trying to work at it. Maybe mascara will help. But yeah, whew, that was hard. That was a bit challenging. Lastly, I'm going to take the shimmer shade right in here and I'm going to place that on my lower lash line just to kind of tie the colors in together. Next, I'm going to move on to foundation so that I can get rid of the shininess that's going on my face. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild foundation. They didn't have very many options at Five Below for foundation, so basically, I'm pretty excited about this foundation though. It says that you don't need to set it. It says Goodbye Photo Flashback. Helps eliminate white particle reflection, and basically you don't need to set this thing, so we're gonna try it. I'm gonna take a bunch of little dots and put them on my face. This foundation hates me. I just did my hair. This is what I get for trying to just getting worse. This is what I get for trying to look cute. I'm just gonna put this on my face. I'm dying. Why is this happening? I can't believe you should pause it. Alright, I'm back. Plan B, we're gonna put this on our finger. It's a very liquidy formula, so I'm struggling with it because it's just like so liquidy. This is why putting it directly on my face did not work. I'm gonna put it all over and then using the Morphe blender brush, the Morphe blender, I'm just gonna put that all over my face. So we're gonna try to make this work. Oh, I look ghostly. This is not working. I look like I'm just getting worse. I'm not getting better. Makeup is supposed to make you look better. I think I put too much of this on. This is not good. We are in full force. Hopefully bronzer will bring color and life back to my face. I can't. So bad. Oh gosh. How about on a scale of 1 to 10 is this face? Oh god. I'm like laughing at myself. Cause what made me think that I was like, no, this is supposed to be my color. I lied. I'm pretty pale. Alright. Hopefully concealer and contour will bring life back to my face. I have to fix my eyebrows again. I can't post this. Oh god. I'm gonna use another drugstore brand foundation because I literally cannot do my makeup like this. I'm gonna use the Maybelline Fit Me in Dewy Smooth, and this is closer to my color than what I have on my face here. We are not doing so great. Someone send help. I know this is cheating, but I literally can't post a horrible look. This is not the foundation's fault either. This is totally 100% my fault. Why do I feel like that's equally as white? Hold on a second. Did I tan up? Am I darker than I previously was? Was I this white before? This is not a thing. I'm having a full-on meltdown on this camera. I feel like it's added a little bit of color, but not. I just feel like I had a very light face, and this wasn't gonna help it. Nope, I can't do it. Can't do it. I literally can't do it. Yeah, I'm not that white. Going back in with the primer that I originally used, and then I'm gonna go in with this Fit Me color. It's safer to put on the back of my hand. I learned that. I think that with the very pale foundation that I was already putting on my skin, that I already had on my skin, and then putting the darker one on, it didn't work out because I was already like super white. So it wasn't like showing my true color. I feel like this is a little bit light too, but it's more of my neck color. And to be honest, I'm actually am very positive that you can't find this foundation at Five Below, and I apologize. But I'm gonna take like the queen side of my blender and just tap that all in, no product. Just kind of tapping that foundation into my face without adding additional product or taking away any product. I like the finish of this. It's like dewy, so you get to see like a glow. And right now for summertime, it's like perfect. We are gonna move on to concealing and bronzing my face. I'm going to use the ColourPop concealers in 2 different shades. The first shade is Light 14, and the second shade is in Deep Dark. I am using this because it was fairly cheap, but I didn't find a concealer in Five Below. So I'm going to be using these 2 colors to conceal under my lids. And then I have like crazy smile lines because I'm a very animated talker. So on my smile lines and then a little bit on my forehead. This is very pale, and I don't want to get into the same situation that I was in before. So I'm not going to put too much more. And then I'm going to bronze using a concealer as well. And I'm just going to put tiny little dots of this because it is a lot darker than my skin tone, but it will add a lot of color to my face. And I really love to contour my lips. So we're gonna go crazy with that. And then under my chin. So starting with the lighter parts on my face, I'm gonna go ahead and just press in that concealer. I like to move around on the blender so that I get a nice even look, some of it with some product left on it, some of it with no product on it whatsoever. But I'm just basically going to take this and blend outwards using a patting motion towards my hairline. That allows that darker color to stay on the outside of my hairline, and it doesn't fully bring it into my face, but as you can see, it's adding color in as I pat it in. You see it's adding in a ton of color. If I bring it too far into my forehead, what I do is I take my blender where I had that foundation and kind of start to pat it in to cover up the crazy darkness I bring too close into my forehead. So using the product that's left on the brush and just kind of taking it and placing it in places where it's needed. I know I'm still looking pretty crazy, but we will fix this. We will do this together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in and fix my eyebrows in those places that I kind of brushed over it. So I'm just going to move on. And then I'm going to take a lighter shade in the palette and I'm going to dab that on my eyebrow. Just right underneath my eyebrow to bring a little bit lightness to my eyebrow. This is the lightest shade in this palette. I feel like I'm doing a lot of fixing today. I'm gonna fix my eyeliner. Moving on, going right back into this palette. It had a little bronzer in it. I didn't find any like separated bronzers or anything. So I'm gonna take that and I'm going to add some bronziness into my face. This bronzer is like a weird kind of orange color. I don't absolutely hate it, but it's more coppery and shiny than like your typical bronzer would be. Kind of looks like a darker highlight almost. And then it also came with a blush, and the blush is this color right in here. And I'm gonna place that on my cheeks. I am going to use this color right up here to set under my eyes because I realize I don't have anything to set under my eyes. But I do need something because my eye does tend to crack pretty often. And then moving on, we're gonna use this highlighter. It's the Loose Highlighter Pearl Lights. It's ultra fine shimmering powder. It doesn't look like a highlighter. It looks like more like a glitter than a highlighter. I think the blush looks a little bit more highlighty than this does, if I'm being honest. Yes, I didn't love that. But good thing is I have a backup highlighter. Found this cute little pack that had like these glitters and it had glitter glue and then it had this silver highlighter in it as well. And I think the glitters I'm going to try for a different video, but I do want to try this highlighting powder. So we're going to take this. We are going to, ooh, that's pretty. This is a cooler toned highlighter than I'm personally used to, but I kind of like it. I'm actually going to also add this as an inner corner highlight. Ooh. If I'm honest, I'm just going to put this everywhere. Because this is my favorite product of the day, and I just had a feeling it would be. I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Renegade Mascara. What I liked about this mascara is that the tip has like this little ball at the very end. And we're going to see if I can get my lower lashes in control. I'm going to. My eyelashes are clumping up just a little bit, but I actually really love this mascara for my lower lash line. The little ball at the end is like perfect. Like moving around my lower lashes like really awesomely. Alrighty, and then last but not least, to tie in the entire look, I am going to use this lippy from Wet n Wild. It is in the shade Mauve Overgirl. And it is like this pretty mauve purpley shade. And I love this applicator. I've had it on other lippies before. I just feel like it's so great. I forgot the most exciting part. The setting spray is from Smoke and Mirrors. And it has like glittery or glittery flecks in it. Not that I need to be any more glittery or shiny right now, but when you're going deep in, you just go. I don't think that's how the saying goes, but it says shape well, hold the bottle 8 to 10 inches away from the face, and spray with X and T formation. The mist in this is not like fine, it targets like the top and the bottom, so it's a little bit weird, but nothing I can't handle with my glittery donut looking face. I'm done. So this is my final look. I'm not sure how I feel about it just yet. Just give me a couple minutes to feel it out. I created this Neapolitan ice cream kind of look. I felt like it really worked with my dessert donut ears. It wasn't intentional, I'm not gonna lie. It was just kind of something that spoke to me through the items that I picked. There were some things that I absolutely loved, and then there were some things that I did not in any way, shape, or form like, so I won't be using it again. For example, I kind of like the palette. I like the colors in it. Some of them worked really well. I kind of want to play around with some of these glitters a little bit more, but I didn't like the bronzer and the blush that were in this palette, so I probably won't use those again. I also did not like this foundation. Me and this foundation are not friends. We are not cool. And then I really did not love the loose highlighter. I feel like it did nothing but put glitter on my cheek. But I gave it a try. I thought this was the item that I would love the most, but that's not necessarily the case. However, I did like the Wet n Wild Lippy, and I like the eyeliner. So I'm gonna keep trying that out a little bit more. Oh, I also really did like the mascara. The mascara was cool. I like the shape of the mascara. It was like a little ball that helped me with my lower lash line. I think anything that helps me control those lower lashes is going to be a win for me, so I really like that. And I loved, which I will very likely be using it again, the eyebrow gel. This worked out so well for me, and I feel like I love it. I need to kind of practice with gels just kind of in general, but overall, really like this product. I feel like this wasn't necessarily a makeup win for me. There were some products that were just kind of really challenging to use. I can't really call this a full face Five Below makeup tutorial because I did add an extra foundation that I didn't buy there, and then I used a concealer too. But I think overall, I can take some of the products that I bought at Five Below and incorporate it into my makeup tutorials, so I think that's kind of a win. I really like that some of the products worked really well on my face. I think we pulled it off. I think that I fixed things. I hit the struggle bus so hard, where the struggle bus hit me so hard, and we made it work. Comment down below if you love Five Below just as much as I do, or if there's a makeup product that you've purchased at Five Below that you really want me to try. I am so open to trying anything, so let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate the time that you spend watching my videos. I love you so, so much. Bye.